Do you ever feel alone even when you're in a crowd? Then how can we be more connected than ever, yet still feel isolated? This is a paradox we find ourselves in today. Our world is more intertwined than it has ever been. Text messages travel for miles in the blink of an eye, and yet a sense of loneliness often looms over us. It's a silent epidemic, its tendrils reaching out, affecting our mental health, our happiness, our very perception of the world. It's a puzzle that seems almost impossible to solve. How can we feel so alone when we're never truly alone? But what if I told you that the answer lies not in the future, but in the past? In an age-old philosophy that's as relevant today as it was 2,000 years ago? That's right, we're talking about Stoicism, a philosophy that offers practical wisdom to navigate this complex maze of isolation. Let's dive into how Stoicism manages this modern problem. If you're enjoying this content, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and join our growing strong-minded community. Know that by subscribing, you are fulfilling all of your philosophy needs in order to live a great life. If you choose to subscribe, you are making a step toward a path many do not even know exist. You are becoming a Stoic wolf. Stoicism, a philosophy born in ancient Greece, offers a unique perspective on loneliness. In the thriving heart of the Hellenistic period, Stoicism emerged, teaching us that tranquility and contentment are achieved not by changing the world around us, but by focusing on what we can control: our thoughts, our emotions, and our reactions. Stoicism is built on four cardinal virtues: wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. These virtues guide us in our actions and reactions, buffering us against the whirlwind of external circumstances that we often have no control over. The Stoics believed that by nurturing these virtues, one can attain a state of inner peace and tranquility regardless of the chaos outside. Now, how does this relate to loneliness? Well, the Stoics would argue that loneliness is not a circumstance imposed on us from the outside world, but rather a state of mind that we have control over. They suggest that we can overcome the feeling of isolation not by seeking constant companionship or approval from others, but by understanding and accepting our own selves. Marcus Aurelius, a renowned Stoic philosopher and Roman emperor, stressed the importance of self-reflection and inner peace. He believed that by accepting our own company and being comfortable in our solitude, we can mitigate feelings of loneliness. But don't mistake this for advocating total isolation. Stoics emphasized the importance of community and ethical relationships. They believed in the interconnectedness of all beings and taught that we have a duty to contribute positively to society. This sense of belonging and purpose can alleviate the feelings of loneliness. The Stoics also practiced mindfulness, focusing on the present moment rather than dwelling on the past or worrying about the future. This helps us appreciate what we have rather than longing for what we lack, which is often the root cause of loneliness. As the Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, "It is not things that disturb us, but our interpretation of their significance." So if we can change our perception of loneliness, we can change our experience of it. We've enlisted the help of leading experts in Stoicism and mental health to shed more light on this issue. The wisdom of the ancients is not lost on us. In fact, Stoicism, a philosophy born over 2,000 years ago, offers insights that are strikingly applicable to our modern struggle with loneliness. Our experts emphasize the Stoic concept of focusing on what's within our control. When we experience loneliness, it's easy to dwell on external circumstances, the distance from loved ones, the lack of social interaction, the solitude imposed by our fast-paced world. Yet Stoics encourage us to shift our perspective inwards. One of the scholars explains it, Stoics believed in the power of the self. They recognized that our reactions, our thoughts, and our feelings are within our control. This is a fundamental aspect of Stoicism that can be incredibly empowering when dealing with feelings of loneliness. Another expert elaborates, Stoic philosophy teaches us to seek inner peace through self-reflection. This is not about isolating oneself, but rather about understanding oneself. It's about turning loneliness into solitude, a state where we are alone but not lonely, where we find comfort and strength in our own company. Stoicism, however, does not advocate for complete detachment from the world. Our experts highlight the importance of ethical relationships and community in Stoic teachings. As one mental health professional puts it, Stoics understood the value of connection. They believed in the power of community and the ethical relationships that bind us together. While they promoted inner peace, they also recognized that we are social beings who thrive in connection with others. So, when we grapple with loneliness, Stoicism guides us to look within, to control our reactions, to find peace in solitude, and to seek genuine connections. It's a philosophy that empowers us to navigate our feelings of isolation and to create a fulfilling existence rooted in understanding and connection. So it's clear that Stoicism offers a powerful toolkit for managing loneliness. Now let's explore some real-life stories of people who've successfully used Stoic principles to combat loneliness. Consider the story of James, a New York City accountant. He found himself feeling increasingly isolated in the city that never sleeps. Instead of succumbing to despair, James turned to Stoicism. He started focusing on things within his control, his thoughts and actions. He took up meditation and journaling to better understand his feelings. James also made an effort to forge ethical relationships, a fundamental Stoic principle, by volunteering at a local shelter. This shift in attitude and actions helped James feel more connected and less lonely. Next we have Sarah, a university student from London who was battling loneliness after moving away from home for the first time. Sarah discovered Stoic philosophy during a late-night internet search. She was drawn to the idea of finding inner peace through self-reflection. Sarah started to practice daily mindfulness, reflecting on her thoughts and actions. She also applied another Stoic teaching, focusing on what she could control. She couldn't control missing her family, but she could control how she responded to it. Instead of dwelling on her loneliness, she started to reach out, joining clubs and making friends in her new city. Sarah's story is a testament to the power of Stoic principles in action. Then there's Raj, a software engineer from Bangalore, who found himself feeling isolated in his highly competitive work environment. Raj turned to Stoicism as a means to cope. He adopted the Stoic belief that external events don't disturb us, rather our interpretation of these events does. Raj began to see his loneliness not as a problem, but as an opportunity to grow. He started to invest more time in himself, learning new skills and exploring new interests. This shift in perspective, a direct result of his Stoic practice, helped Raj feel less lonely and more at peace with himself. These stories show that Stoic wisdom isn't just theory, it can be a real game changer in our lives. So how can we incorporate Stoic wisdom into our everyday lives? Let's start with the first tip. Focus on what's within your control. In reality, we can't control the actions of others, the weather, or the economy, but we can control our reactions to them. So if you're feeling lonely, instead of fixating on the external factors that you believe are causing this feeling, shift your focus to your internal world. Ask yourself, what can I do to alleviate my loneliness? The answer might be as simple as picking up a book, taking a walk, or calling a friend. Next, practice self-reflection. The Stoics were big on self-examination. They believed that by understanding ourselves better, we can navigate life more effectively. Take a few minutes each day to reflect on your feelings of loneliness. What is triggering them? How are they affecting your behavior? And most importantly, how can you respond to them in a way that aligns with your values and goals? This practice not only helps you understand your loneliness, but also empowers you to take action. Thirdly, build ethical relationships. Stoicism isn't about living like a hermit, it's about forming meaningful connections with others based on mutual respect and kindness. So make an effort to reach out to others. Offer your help, share your experiences, and show empathy. Whether it's a neighbor, a colleague, or a stranger at a coffee shop, every interaction is an opportunity to form a connection. Lastly, remember that you're part of a larger community. This is an essential Stoic concept known as cosmopolitanism. It reminds us that we are not alone in our struggles or our joys. So, join a club, volunteer at a local charity, or simply spend time in public spaces like parks or cafes. These activities allow you to interact with others and remind you that you're a part of something bigger. In conclusion, dealing with loneliness is less about changing your circumstances and more about changing your perspective. It's about taking control of your reactions, understanding yourself better, building meaningful relationships, and recognizing your place in the world. Remember, as Seneca said, true happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence upon the future. In a world where loneliness is a common experience, Stoicism offers a way out. We've journeyed through the paradoxical loneliness of our connected world and delved into the timeless wisdom of Stoic philosophers. We've learned that the Stoics teach us to focus on what's within our control, finding inner peace through self-reflection and understanding the importance of ethical relationships. Indeed, Stoicism is not a call to isolation, but a guiding light towards connection. It's about finding solace in our own company, yes, but it's also about fostering meaningful relationships with those around us. It's about being content within ourselves while also being part of a larger community. In essence, the Stoic path from loneliness to connection is paved with self-understanding, acceptance, and ethical engagement with our fellow humans. As we navigate the complexities of modern life, let the Stoics guide us in transforming loneliness into a path toward deeper self-understanding and connection. We hope you found this exploration of Stoicism and loneliness insightful. We have journeyed from understanding the paradox of loneliness in a connected world to the Stoic response, to practical tips for applying Stoicism in your life. Remember, Stoicism teaches us to focus on what's within our control, to find inner peace through self-reflection, and to foster ethical relationships. It's not a call to isolation, but a beacon guiding us towards meaningful connections. As we navigate the complexities of modern life, let's apply these principles and transform loneliness into a path towards deeper self-understanding and connection. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more insightful content. Thanks for watching.